Today, let us talk about the chapter of nuclei. So, when I say nuclei, you're all familiar with this nuclei and you know the constituents of the nucleus also. You know the chapter of atoms, you would have studied that in physics or might be in chemistry also. There were so many models that were proposed. There were so many models proposed. ಏನಕ್ಕೆ atom structure na explain ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ. ಓಕೆ, atom ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಆ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಸ್ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಸೊ ಅವರು ಯಾವ ತರ ಇಂಟರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ atoms ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಾ. So we have so many models to explain the structure of the atom. Similarly, we have so many models to explain the structure of the nucleus. See, when I talk about the atom, its size is approximately of the order of 10 power minus 10 meters. That is, we say 1 angstrom. So size of the atom is 1 angstrom. This was clarified by alpha ray scattering experiment, or what we call as a gold foil experiment, that was done by Rutherford. So Rutherford size of the atom ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು information ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ based on at the same time ಈ Bohr's theory, ಅದರ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಕೂಡ ನೀವು ಓದಿರಬಹುದು ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ. Bohr's theory ಅವನು ಕೂಡ ಸೈಜ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಆಟಮ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ. That is from the radius of the first orbit of hydrogen atom. You know, radius of the first orbit is around 0.53 angstroms. So Bohr's theory ಇಂದ ಮತ್ತೆ Rutherford's experiment ಇಂದ ನಮಗೆ atom size ಎಷ್ಟು ಇರಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಐಡಿಯಾ ಬಂತು. So atom size is of the order of 10 power minus 10 meters. But when you take the case of the nucleus has a size which is of the order of 10 power minus 15 meters. 10 power minus 15 meters. So ಇದನ್ನ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಐಡಿಯಾ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಏನಂತ. ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಗಿಂತ ಆಟಮ್ 1 lakh times bigger. So ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಓವರ್ ಆಲ್ ಸೈಜ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಆಟಮ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಈ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇಂದ. So nucleus is a very small entity. It forms the core of the atom. Nucleus is nothing but the core of the atom. And other size 10 power minus 15 meters, ಅಥವಾ 1 Fermi ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. And atom size ನೋಡಿ 10 power minus 10 meters. So nucleus ಗಿಂತ atom ಎಷ್ಟು ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, 1 lakh times it is bigger. But then this nuclei, which is so small in size, it constitutes 99% of the mass. So ಇಡೀ atom ಏನ್ ಮಾಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ 99.9% ಅಷ್ಟು ಮಾಸ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. And imagine 100% ಮಾಸ್, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ 99.9% ಮಾಸ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ, ಮಿಕ್ಕಿದ 0.1% ಮಾಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಬರೀ 0.1% ಮಾಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು. ಇದರಿಂದ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಬರಬಹುದು ಆಟಮ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಹೇಗಿರಬಹುದು ಅಂತ. ಸೊ the size of the nucleus, you have an idea. Size of the atom, you have an idea. Okay, now here ಇದು 10 power minus 15 meters ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು 10 power minus 10 meters. ಇದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಇದು 1 lakh times bigger. But 99.9% of the mass nucleus ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಓಕೆ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಮಿಕ್ಕಿದ 0.1% ಮಾಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇಷ್ಟು ಜಾಗ ಆಕ್ಯುಪೈ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಸುತ್ತ ಓಕೆ ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಗಿವ್ಸ್ ಯು a rough idea ಸೊ ಆಟಮ್ ಹೇಗಿರಬಹುದು ಆಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಣ್ಣದಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಈಗ ಆಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನೆಲ್ಲ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇವನ್ ಹೈಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಕೂಡ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ದಟ್ ಆಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಆದ್ರೆ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಮಗೆ ಒಂದೇ ದಿವಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ Did we get to know about the presence of these subatomic particles? ಇವ್ರನ್ನ ನಾವು subatomic particles ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. So the existence of these subatomic particles were it known to us overnight? No. You know, among these three particles, J.J. Thomson, he discovered electron, and that was in the year 1897. So first particle identify agide electron on a particle, and that was in the year 1897. Okay, that was in the year 1897. That was done by J.J. Thomson. Later on, you know, atom is electrically neutral. So atom only negative charges idmele positive charges equal number of positive charges irlebeku anta idea kodtane yaru Rutherford. So proton was discovered in the year 1912. So yaar discover madidri proton aa discovery credit yaar hogbeku antandre avade aada ಒಂದು basis ಮೇಲೆ ಅವರು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ Rutherford ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ explanation based on alpha ray scattering experiment. So you will ಮಾಡಿದಂತ ಈ alpha ray scattering experiment ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ ಅದನ್ನ gold foil experiment ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ ಆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಂದ Rutherford ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ದ ಪ್ರೂವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ that the core of the atom is positively charged. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಡೀ ಆಟಮ್ ನ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ core ಅಂದ್ರೆ central part of the atom ಅದು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಪ್ರೂವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಯಾರು Rutherford. ಅದೇ ತರ a person by name Goldstein ಇವನು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ನ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಆದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೆದಿರಲ್ಲ ಆ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಏನ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಅದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿರಲ್ಲ ಸೊ ಅದರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಈ ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರಿ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ನ ಯಾರು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ we can give it to both of them. But keep it in mind ನೋಡಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರಿ ಆಗಿದ್ದು 1897 ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರಿ ಆಗಿದ್ದು 1912 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ 15 years. ಸೊ 15 ವರ್ಷ ತಗೊಳ್ತು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ನ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ. ಹಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಾನ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಬಂತು ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಅಂತ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರೆ 1932 ಅಲ್ಲಿ a person by name Chadwick ಇವನು ಒಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ನ ರೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಏನು ಇಡೀ ಆಟಮ್ ಮಾಸ್ ನ ಮೆಷರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡಿ ಆ ಆಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಸ್ ನ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸೊ ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಸ್ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಮಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಆಟಮ್ ಬರಬೇಕು ಆದ್ರೆ ಅದಾಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಇತ್ತು ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ಸ್ ಇತ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲರದು ಮಾಸ್ ನ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅದು ಟೋಟಲ್ ಮಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಆಟಮ್ ಗಿಂತ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು ಸೊ ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಇವರ ತಲೆಗೆ ಒಂದು ಐಡಿಯಾ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಏನಂತ there should be some other particle in this atom which is not contributing for the charge but it is only contributing for the mass. So a particle ge charge illa mass matra irbeku ಆ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಂತ ಹೆಸರೇ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಾನ್. ಸೊ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಾನ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರಿ ಆಗಿದ್ದು 1932 ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬರೀ ಮಾಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ತರ ಇಡೀ ಹಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಒಂದೇ ದಿವಸದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಆಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 3 ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಫ್ರಮ್ 1897 to 1932, overall 35 years almost. So it has taken 35 years for us to know that there are 3 subatomic particles in the atom. So this is a simple history, okay, of the atom. Atom ಅಲ್ಲಿ subatomic particles ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ, ಹೇಗೆ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಬಂತು ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಇದೆ. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಈ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಿಳ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, not about the entire atom, we only are bothered about this nucleus. Okay, nucleus. Now, so let's now continue. And what is that you will get to know in this chapter is only about this nucleus, the small entity what we are talking about has a size of 1 fermi. Okay, so in nucleus alli yaar idare, avara mass enu, charge idea ilva, density ಎಷ್ಟು, ಅದರ ಸೈಜ್ ಏನು, ಸೈಜ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯಿತು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಆ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಫೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಆ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಯಾವುದು ಅಂತ ಈ ತರ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಅದರ ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದರ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಟೆಡ್ ಫಿನಾಮಿನನ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಈ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್. ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ us now continue. We are going to talk about the properties of the nucleus. First among the properties is the constituents and representation. Constituents and representation. So the constituents ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ. Okay, so let us now talk about the representation of. See, any nucleus, andre this can be nucleus of any atom of any element. Periodic table ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಟಮ್ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, ಆ ಆಟಮ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು. Any nucleus is represented by a single cell with a superscript of A, or you can also do one thing, you can take the representation as X and superscript as A, subscript as Z. Now here X represents the nucleus of some atom. What does A stand for? A stands for the atomic mass. A stands for atomic mass, which is nothing but the number of protons plus the number of neutrons in the nucleus. Okay, so A stands for the atomic mass, which gives you the total number of protons and neutrons in the nucleus. Z okay, is called as atomic number. Z is called as the atomic number, and Z gets you nothing but the number of protons. Z gets you the number of protons, and you know that any atom's nucleus, if you consider, or any atom, let us say, protons ಮತ್ತೆ electrons number ಎರಡು equal ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. But atomic number is defined as the number of protons in the nucleus, which is also equal to the number of electrons. That's it. So, what are the constituents? We talk about these 3 particles, and representation is with X for any nucleus, A for atomic mass, Z for the atomic number. Okay, so that's about the first property. Second property, Let us talk about the mass of the nucleus. See, you know that the nucleus has protons and neutrons in it. ಇವರಿಬ್ಬರಿಗೂ ನಾವು ಕೊಡೋ ಕಾಮನ್ ನೇಮ್ ಯಾವುದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಇಬ್ಬರನ್ನು ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರೀಬಹುದು we call them as nucleons. Okay, we call them as nucleons. Now nucleus ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು ಬರೀ ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಇಬ್ಬರಿಗೂ ಮಾಸ್ ಇದೆಯಾ ಇಬ್ಬರಿಗೂ ಮಾಸ್ ಇದೆ but neutron has a slightly greater mass than the proton, but otherwise we can say it's almost the same. Our ibbara mass alli difference elli barutte andre almost third decimal place alli difference barutte. Adra bagge now discuss ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ as we go on this chapter. So I will take capital M as the mass of the nucleus ಅಥವಾ subscript n ಅಂತ ಕೊಡಬಹುದು ಕೆಲವು books ಅಲ್ಲಿ. capital M n stands for mass of the nucleus. mass of the nucleus ಹೇಗೆ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯಬೇಕು ನಾನೀಗ ಆ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಸ್ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಎಷ್ಟು ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅದರ ಮಾಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅದೆಲ್ಲನೂ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ I get the total mass of the nucleus. ಈಗ ಯಾವುದೇ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ z number of protons, correct? Z number of protons. Here let us say mp is the mass of one proton. mp is the mass of one proton. ಎಷ್ಟು protons ಇದೆ z number of protons ಇದೆ. So ಇದೆಲ್ಲನೂ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ I get the total mass of all the protons. ಮತ್ತೆ ವಾಪಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ protons plus neutrons is given by A. Protons is nothing but Z. ಇದನ್ನ Z ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಆಗ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ A minus Z. So any nucleus will have A minus Z number of neutrons. I think you got the point. Number of protons is Z. So P badal Z anta hakbadi. A minus Z will get to the number of neutrons. Okay. This multiplied by mass of each neutron. So number of protons into mass of one proton, number of neutrons into mass of one neutron. If you add madre, you get the total mass of the nucleus. Okay, total mass of the nucleus. So that's about the second property, that is mass. The third property is size of the nucleus. So nucleus size ನಾನು ಆಗಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ it's of the order of 10 power minus 15 meters. ಬಟ್ ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಐಡಿಯಾ ನಮಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಬಂತು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. It is from the Rutherford's experiment. That's an alpha ray scattering experiment. ಆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಂದ ರುದರ್ಫೋರ್ಡ್ ಒಂದು ಫಾರ್ಮುಲೇಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ ಏನಂತ R equals R naught a to the power of 1 by 3. So ಈ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲೇಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ ರುದರ್ಫೋರ್ಡ್ where R stands for the radius of the nucleus. Okay, R stands for the radius of the nucleus. What does A stand for? A stands for the atomic mass. A stands for atomic mass. See, you know about different elements in the periodic table. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಗೂ A ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಯಾವಾಗ A ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೋ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲಿ R ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ವೇರಿ ಆಗಲೇಬೇಕು. But what is this R naught? R naught is a constant. R naught is a constant whose value is 1.2. into 10 to the power of minus 15 meters. ಈ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ನೀವು ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಮೆಮೊರೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. So R naught is a constant whose value is 1.2 into 10 power minus 15 meters. 10 power minus 15 ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ Fermi ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. Okay, so the value of R naught is 1.2 Fermi ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Now R naught value is a constant for any nucleus of any element. R gets you the radius of the nucleus. A stands for atomic mass. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ವಿಷಯ ಗಮನಿಸಿ, A value for the different elements in the periodic table can vary from 1 to 300. For hydrogen it is 1, for uranium and the other 235. Other ಬೇರೆ elements ಹೋಗ್ತಾ let us say it can vary up to 300. ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, A value 1 to 300 vary ಆದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಅದರ ಕ್ಯೂಬ್ ರೂಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಅದರ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಚಿಕ್ಕದಾಗುತ್ತೆ. And that multiplied by R naught will get you some value, but in 10 power minus 15 meters. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಥ, ಯಾವುದೇ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ of any element, ಈ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಹೊರತು ಈ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ 10 power minus 15 ಅನ್ನೋದು ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. That's the reason why we say that any nucleus has a size of the order of 10 power minus 15 meters. Okay, so that's about the third property of the nucleus. Fourth property, say ನಿಮ್ಮ 12th board exams ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ question ನ 5 marks ಗೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಸಲ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Discuss the properties of the nucleus. So ನಾವೀಗ 5 ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಆ 5 ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನೀವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು 5 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್, ಅಥವಾ ಅವನೇ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಇಂಥ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. It can be a 5 marker for you in the theory board exams. Okay, so ನಾಲ್ಕನೇ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಹೋಗೋಣ, that is charge. ಈಗ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು ಯಾರು? ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್. And you already know that neutrons get charge illa. So charge irodu yarige? Bari protons ಮಾತ್ರ. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇದೆ? Same as that of the charge of an electron. So charge of the proton ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, electron ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, has the same magnitude of 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. So, but magnitude same, but polarity is idike positive, idike negative charge. But ibardu magnitude onde charge. So, I take the capital Q as total charge on the nucleus. Okay, capital Q is the total charge on the nucleus. But charge irodu yaರಿಗೆ? Protons ಮಾತ್ರ. ಯಾವುದೇ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ? In general ಯಾವುದೇ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ? Z number of protons. Okay, Z number of protons. So Z is the number of protons. Q or the QP antana baribodu. Sometimes it is written as E itself. So this gets you nothing but the charge on the nucleus. Number of protons multiplied by charge carried by each proton. Charge carried by each proton is nothing but the same charge as that carried by the electron. So this gets you the charge on the nucleus. So this becomes the fourth property of the nucleus. Moving on to the fifth property, we talk about the density of the nucleus. Density. You know, density is defined as what? Mass by volume. Okay, density is defined as mass by volume. Any nucleus is assumed to be spherical in shape. Okay, ಯಾವುದೇ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಶೇಪ್ ಸ್ಫೆರಿಕಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಅಸಂಪ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು nuclear structure explain ಮಾಡೋ theories ಕೂಡ ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿರುತ್ತೆ. So volume of the nucleus can be taken as volume of a sphere 4 by 3 pi r cube. Volume of a sphere. In a mass, it is the mass of the nucleus. ಇದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆಗಿದೆ, which is z times mp plus a minus z times mn. Okay. Now, the radius ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, r ಅಂದ್ರೆ radius of the sphere, here it's the radius of the nucleus. ಈ r ಗೆ ಈ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಇಂದ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. And also I told you proton ಮತ್ತು neutron, they both have almost the same mass. Okay, they both almost have the same mass. So what I will do is I will consider mp to be almost same as that of mn, and for r I substitute for this formula. So what do I get for density? Z plus a minus z. ಇದನ್ನ mp ಅಂತ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು mp ನ ಕಾಮನ್ ತೆಗಿರಿ. So you are left with this in mp divided by 4 by 3 pi r naught a power 1 by 3 the whole cube. ಈ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲೇಷನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Z gets cancelled. Okay. So what you are left with, ಈ 3 ಮೇಲೆ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀನಿ, 3 times mass of mp. Okay, z cancel ಆಯ್ತು, a ಉಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ, divided by 4 pi r naught cube ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, a to the power of 1 by 3 the whole cube, you get it as a. So now what happens to this a here? Gets cancelled. So what you are left with? Rho equals 3 times mp by 4 pi r naught cube. 4 pi r naught cube. So this is the formula for density of the nucleus. Observe my equation. 3 constant. Mass of the proton is a constant. 4 pi r naught. All the terms are constant. So what does that mean? It means, one more point you can see. A cancel agoyidilli. Density of any nucleus is independent of A. See the periodic table. Whatever the elements you have, their value of A will change from one element to another element. A change from 1 to almost 280, 300 will change the value of A for different nucleus. But then density of any nucleus is independent of the mass number. ಅದರ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನಾಯ್ತು? ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ಸ್ ಇರಲಿ, ಎಷ್ಟೇ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಇರಲಿ, ಅದರ ಡೆನ್ಸಿಟಿ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್. So if you substitute for these values, mass of the proton 1.67 into 10 power minus 7 kgs divided by 4 into 3.14 into 1.2 into 10 to the power of minus 15 the whole cube. If you simplify this value, you get an approximate value of 2 into 10 to the power of 17 kg per meter cube. ಕೆಲವು ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಬರೆದಿರ್ತಾನೆ, ಕೆಲವು ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆಸಿಮಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ತಗೊಂಡು ಇದು 10 power 18 ಅಂತ ಬರೆದಿರ್ತಾನೆ. So you see here you get a stunning result. Density of any nucleus is a small entity, size is very small, but look at the density, it's of the order of 10 power 17 kg per meter. So 10 power 17, is it a small value? It's a huge value. It's a very huge value. Okay, andre ಇದನ್ನ ಯಾವ ತರ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ kg per meter cube ನ ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, 10 power 17 kgs mass ಇದೆ in a cubical container whose volume is 1 meter cube. Length 1 meter, breadth 1 meter, and height 1 meter. Cubical container ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ 10 power 17 kgs of mass ಇದೆ. So imagine ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಎಷ್ಟು high density ಇದೆ nucleus. So in the entire universe, ಇಡೀ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಇರೋಷ್ಟು ಡೆನ್ಸಿಟಿ ಇನ್ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಇರುವಂತ ಡೆನ್ಸಿಟಿ ಇಡೀ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಸೈಜ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಂತ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಆಫ್ 10 power minus 15 meters. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಸಣ್ಣ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಾಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಈಗ, because the density is very very large. So this discussion completes the properties of the nucleus. Today let us talk about the atomic mass unit. In one of the sessions I had told you how to achieve the value of atomic mass unit. Now today we'll take a different approach for it. See, when we talk about the nucleus, its constituents being protons and neutrons, both subatomic particles have very small values of mass. If you look at the mass of the proton, it's 1.6725 into 10 power minus 27 kgs. Mass of the neutron is 1.6875 into 10 power minus 27 kgs. Now, any of this value doesn't make such significance over here. But if you look at this 10 power minus 27, that will give you an idea. Mass of the proton and the neutron is to sannadada value. Okay, proton and the neutron ibbarigu mass tumba kadime. But also, innonu observe ಮಾಡಿ, ಇವರಿಬ್ಬರದು ಮಾಸ್ ವೇರಿ ಆಗ್ತಿರೋದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಡೆಸಿಮಲ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ 7 ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ 8 ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಾನ್ ಮಾಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಯಾವಾಗ ಡೆನ್ಸಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ. ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಅ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ದೇರ್ that neutrons mass is slightly more than the proton's mass, slightly more. So the difference you can see in the second decimal place. Okay, now when mass of the proton is such small values, what we have to now think about is we need a convenient system of unit. What do you mean by convenient system of unit? For example, let us say ಈ chalk ಎಷ್ಟು ಉದ್ದ ಇರಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವೇನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ 10 centimeters or 11 centimeters ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. We don't say instead of 10 centimeters as 100 millimeters. ಅಥವಾ ಇದರ ಲೆಂತ್ ನಾವು we don't talk in terms of kilometers or light years. Now, why do we talk about the length of this object in terms of centimeters? At the same time, if you are asked to talk about the distance from Bangalore to Mysore, let us say, we don't talk about the distance in terms of millimeters or centimeters or even meters also. But thing is convenience. So distance from Bangalore to Mysore, we say approximately 130 kilometers. So instead of saying 130 kilometers, you can say 130 into 10 to the power of 3 meters or 130 into 10 to the power of 5 centimeters, 10 to the power of 6 millimeters. Now, why don't we talk in those terms? Why do we talk in terms of kilometers only? Just for our convenience. ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಕೂದಲು ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಆ ಕೂದಲು ಥಿಕ್ನೆಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರೆ we neither talk in terms of kilometers or meters or centimeters. We talk in terms of millimeters. When you talk about the distance between the lattice points in a crystal, We don't even talk in terms of millimeters, we talk in terms of micrometers, nanometers, picometers. 10 power minus 6, minus 9, minus 12 meters. Why do we do so? ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಯಾರು? ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು ನಮ್ಮ ಅನುಕೂಲಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ, ಫಾರ್ ಅವರ್ ಕನ್ವೀನಿಯನ್ಸ್. ಅದೇ ತರ when you talk about mass, so mass can be expressed in what? Grams, kilograms, milligrams, all this. So depending upon which system of unit will be convenient for us, we talk in terms of those. Now see here, the proton and neutrons, collectively called as nucleons, they have a mass of around 10 power minus 27 kgs, which is a very, very small value. Even if you talk in terms of grams, it will be 10 power minus 24. Talk in terms of milligrams, 10 power minus 21. But still 10 power minus 21 is a very small value. So, idukoskara, andre to make it convenient for us to specify these small values of mass, we have something called as the atomic mass unit. Atomic mass unit, abbreviated as AMU. Okay, atomic mass unit. Either energy in the case of energy, we talk about energy in terms of joules, we talk in terms of ergs. But then when the value of energy becomes very, very small, okay, when the value of energy becomes very small, then what do? We talk in terms of a unit called as electron volt. Okay, electron volt, whose value is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 joules. So electron volt is represented as small e, capital V. One electron volt value is 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joules. So energy na ನಾವು joules ಅಲ್ಲಿ measure ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, electron volts ಅಲ್ಲಿ measure ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. But here you see 10 power minus 19 is a very small value. ಅಷ್ಟು ಸಣ್ಣದಾದ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ನಾವು joules ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಬಹುದು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 joules ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಬಹುದು. ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ 1 electron volt ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಬಹುದು. So it is all for our convenience. ಅದೇ ತರ, what do you mean by atomic mass unit? So it's a convenient system of unit to measure very small values of mass. ಸಣ್ಣ mass values ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅಂತದನ್ನ ಕನ್ವೀನಿಯಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಮೆಷರ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾವು ಅಳವಡಿಸಿಕೊಂಡಿರುವಂತ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಇದು ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ಮಾಸ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್. ಸೊ ಈ ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ಮಾಸ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು? ಸೊ one atomic mass unit is defined as 1/12 of the mass of one atom of carbon 12 isotope. So this is how we define atomic mass unit. So one atomic mass unit is defined as 1/12 of the mass of one atom of carbon 12 isotope. You know, isotopes means those which have same atomic number but different atomic masses. Carbon again more isotope ಇದೆ. Carbon 12, carbon 13, carbon 14. Atomic number is same 6. So ಆ ಮೂರು isotopes ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡೋದು carbon 12 isotope because among the three isotopes ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ವಿಷಯನ ಆ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಗೆ ಮೂರು isotopes ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ most stable ಆಗಿರುವಂತ isotope ಅಂದ್ರೆ carbon 12 isotope. It's the most stable isotope of carbon. So now, one AMU is defined as 1/12 the mass of one atom of carbon 12 isotope. ಈಗ ನಾವು 1 AMU ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ kgs ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. So how do we do it? So let us start off with that. Now, we know that 1 mole of carbon 12, 1 mole of carbon 12 has how many atoms in it? So everyone knows 1 mole of any substance will have Avogadro number of atoms. And 1 mole of carbon 12 and 6, it weighs how much? ಅದು ತೂಕ ಎಷ್ಟು? 12 grams. Okay, 1 mole of carbon 12 weighs 12 grams and it will have Avogadro number of atoms. So I write here 1 mole of carbon 12 has, okay, it weighs 12 into 10 to the power of minus 3 kgs. Grams like kgs are expressed mark. So it weighs 12 grams and contains Avogadro number, that is 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23 atoms in it. Okay, 1 mole of carbon 12 weighs 12 grams and contains Avogadro number, so many atoms in it. So what does this imply? What does this imply? 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23 atoms weigh how much? It weighs 12 into 10 to the power of minus 3 kgs. Okay, so many atoms of carbon 12 weighs 12 into 10 to the power of minus 3 kgs. Hagidre, 1 atom weighs how much? 1 atom weighs 12 into 10 to the power of minus 3 divided by the Avogadro number 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23 kgs. So many atoms weigh so many kgs. 1 atom weighs so many kgs. Then now we use this value of 1 atom's weight over here in the definition. Therefore, 1 AMU is what now? 1 by 12th. 1 by 12th mass of 1 atom of carbon 12 isotope, which is so much. So 1 by 12 into 12 into 10 to the power of minus 3 by 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23. 12 gets cancelled. This becomes 10 power minus 26. Plus 23 made over minus 23. Minus 23 minus 3 is minus 26. 1 by 6.023 will be approximately, if you can check it out, you get 0.166. Okay, 0.166. So 0.166 into 10 to the power of minus 26 kgs. Idna you can rearrange and then write it as 1 AMU equals 1.66 into 10 to the power of minus 27 kgs. This can be a question for 2 marks in the exam. Okay, define atomic mass unit and express its value in kgs. ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ 1.66 into 10 power minus 27 kgs ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು ಈಸಿ ನಾ 1 AMU ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು ಈಸಿ. So naturally 1 AMU is simple. So it is just a convenient system of unit for us to talk about very small masses. Very small masses expressed in kgs now can be conveniently expressed as 1 AMU. So ಇದರ ಪ್ರಕಾರವೇ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಇದರ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಎಷ್ಟು ಆಗಬಹುದಾಗಿದೆ? ಮಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ ಮತ್ತು ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಾನ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಲ್ಲ. So if I express these values in terms of AMU, how much will be their value? Okay, so I'll just give you a rough approximation. Here, if I convert the mass of proton and neutron into AMU, I get these values. You don't need to mug up these values because in numericals, if at all if these calculations are involved, they would have specified the value of proton or neutron in terms of AMUs. Okay. Here also you can see the difference in their masses is in the third decimal place. And that will check out the difference how much it is. There's a very small difference. Let us take on to the next topic of our discussion. That is energy mass relation. Energy mass relation. Now, what is this energy mass relation? Okay. See, when I talk about matter, you all know what do you mean by matter. Matter which has mass and which can occupy some space. Okay. So matter is defined as something which has mass and which can occupy space. So this matter exists in two forms. Matter can either exist in the form of mass or it can exist in the form of energy. So this mass and energy are like two faces of the same coin. The coin here is the matter and the two faces are mass and energy. Now we'll take a simple example. If I take to this eraser, which is made up of wood, so you don't call it as energy, you call it as matter. But this matter has what? Mass. You can measure the mass. It has energy also in it. But I'm looking at it, or easily you can't measure the energy contained in it. We say it has mass. Now what you do is you burn this mass. When you burn this mass, what happens? The entire mass will get converted into energy. So matter, which was existing in the form of mass, will be converted into energy when you burn it. So that's a simple example to make you understand that mass can be converted to energy. But keep it in mind, the vice versa also is possible. Andre, energy in the now, mass na kuda obtain markodu. Hege, you will get to know as we go on. Okay. So, ee vishayana ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆದರೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈ ಆಗೋ ತರ ಒಂದು ರಿಲೇಶನ್ ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ಐನ್ಸ್ಟೈನ್. Because as energy mass equivalence relation ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. Energy mass equivalence relation. What is that relation? E is equal to mc square. Okay, E is equal to mc square. Famous equation that was formulated by Einstein. E stands for energy, m for the mass, c stands for the speed of light in air or vacuum, which is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meters per second. Okay, so now as I told you, E for energy, M for mass, C for speed of light in air or vacuum. 3 lakhs kilometers per second. That is 3 into 10 power 5 kilometers or 3 into 10 power 8 meters per second. Okay. So now here you can see this is an equation which relates energy and mass with the speed of light. So Einstein says that matter can either exist in the form of mass or in the form of energy, and these two are interconvertible. Mass and energy are interconvertible. How mass is equal to energy? We took an example. How energy can be equal to mass? We'll talk about it as we go on. So now, E equals mc square. Let us take an example. If mass of some object is 1 kg, let us say. Okay, mass of an object is 1 kg. Each mass of the object ನಾನು burn ಮಾಡಿ ಆ mass ನ energy convert ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟು energy ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ. So let us E is equals to mc square equation use ಮಾಡೋಣ. M is 1 kg, C is 3 into 10 power 8 the whole square. So you get energy of 9 into 10 to the power of 16 joules. So if 1 kg of mass gets converted to energy, then you get energy of 9 into 10 power 16 joules. Just an example, But now, what we need to discuss about this? We saw that 1 AMU is 1.66 into 10 power minus 27 kg, right? If this much mass is converted to energy, ಈ 1 AMU of mass ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಇದನ್ನ ಎನರ್ಜಿಯಾಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಗುವಂತ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಎಷ್ಟು. So how much energy do we get is what you need to understand now. Okay, so let us continue the discussion. Okay, now let us try to understand if this much mass is converted into energy, how much energy do we get? So 1 AMU of mass nanu energy convert ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. So energy equivalent of 1 AMU. Okay, this can be a 2 marker for you in the exam. So we know that the mass what we are considering is 1 AMU, whose value is equal to 1.66 into 10 power minus 27 kg. This is not the exact value, we have just rounded it off to second decimal place. Okay, so it's not exact value. So mass is today. C, you know the value is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. Speed of light near a vacuum. So energy equivalent is mc square, which is 1.66 into 10 power minus 27 into 3 into 10 to the power of 8 the whole square. So 1.66 into 3 square. 3 square is what? 9. 9 into 1.66 as per approximately. Okay, 9 into 1.66. 9 6 are 54, 4 and 5, 54, 59, 9 and 5, 10, 14. Right? So 14.94 approximately. Power is per there 16 minus 27. Okay, 16 minus 27. How much do you get? Minus 11. So many joules you get. Now, 1 AMU of mass, okay, mass energy convert ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಎಷ್ಟು 14.94 into 10 power minus 11 joules ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. Is it a big value? Yes, ಮಾಡಿ. Is it a big value? No, because 10 power minus 11 is a very small value. And to express very small values of energy, we have another unit I told you, that is electron volt. Okay, electron volt. So ಇದನ್ನ ನಾನೀಗ electron volts ಗೆ convert ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಹೇಗೆ? I should divide this value 14.94 into 10 power minus 11 by 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 electron volts. So ಈ ವಿಷಯ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಜೌಲ್ಸ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿನ electron volts convert ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ you should divide that value in joules by charge of the electron. So ಇದನ್ನ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಈಗ. Plus 19 minus 11 plus 8 I. So divide these two. I am writing an approximate value here, 9.31 something you get into 10 to the power of 8 electron volts. ಕೆಲವು ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 931.5, 932, 9.82 ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರಬಹುದು. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ ಅಪ್ರಾಕ್ಸಿಮೇಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಐ ಟೆಲಿಂಗ್ ಯು. ಎರಡು ಪವರ್ ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. 10 power 8 and 10 power 2 and take it out to this. So I get 931 into 10 to the power of 6 electron volts. 10 power 6 9 ಅಂತ ಕರೀಬಹುದು ನಾವು million ಅಥವಾ mega. So energy equals 931 million electron volts. So this is the energy what we get when 1 AMU of mass is converted into energy. So 1 AMU mass mass ನಾವು energy ಗೆ convert ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂತ energy 931 million ಅಥವಾ mega electron volts. So this can be a 2 marker for you in the exam. Mass defect. So understand this term carefully. Mass defect. Let us now consider the nucleus of some atom, some element. Nucleus. And you know the nucleus is made up of both protons as well as neutrons. So this collection of protons and neutrons together is nothing but what we call as the nucleus. And this nucleus, let us say, has a mass represented as capital M subscript n. It's a mass of the nucleus. Overall, when the protons and neutrons are together, okay, the collective mass I take it as this. And you also know that these nucleons are all bounded by the strongest force in nature. Which is the strongest force called nuclear force. So nuclear force will act among the nucleons. So the nuclear force is always attractive in nature. It's always attractive. So it keeps these nucleons bounded together. So the strongest force in nature is binding these nucleons. Now, in spite of this bonding between these nucleons, I plan to separate them out. I have to separate them and make them as individual nucleons. So what should I do? I should now supply some energy to this. Okay, so I should supply energy. Now what happens? Because I supplied energy, I can break the bonds between them, and then these particles, let us say, get separated. Okay, the particles get separated. Now, once they are separated, you try finding out the individual masses. That is, mass of each proton and neutron, you try to find that. So every particle's individual mass to find out. Then sum up all their masses. Okay, sum up all their masses. So concentrate here. Let us say, you know that any nuclei will have how many protons in them? Z number of protons. Correct? So you have Z number of protons here. Find the mass of each and every proton, individual proton, and then sum it up. You get the total mass of all the protons. How many neutrons are there? You have A minus Z number of neutrons. So sum of the individual masses of all the neutrons. You get total mass of all the neutrons. If I add these two, then what do I get? I get the total mass of all the individual nucleons. All nucleons in separate agidare. ಆ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಮಾಸ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ನನಗೆ, ಇದನ್ನ ಕಂಡಿಡು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಈಗ ಈ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಮಾಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ವಾಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ಡ್ ವಾಸ್ ದಟ್, ಸೊ ಐ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ರಿಪೀಟ್, ಈ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಇದ್ದಾಗ when they were together their mass was found to be this type. Now I have to break the bond and separate them, so I had to work, I had to supply energy, so I supplied some energy. So this energy I just showed as E. E is the energy supply. Now because I supplied energy, the bonds broke and then the nucleons are separated out. So all the nucleons are separated now here. What I did, I found the mass of all the nucleons, protons and the neutrons separately, summed it up. Z number of protons in the mass of each proton. A minus Z number of neutrons in the mass of each neutron. Here to add ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ I get the total mass of the individual nucleons. And what relation can I give between this entire mass of the individual nucleons and the total mass of the nucleus? What relationship can I give? Will it be greater than or lesser than or equal? What do you think? Total mass of the nucleons. ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಇದ್ದಾಗ total mass. Separate ಆದಾಗ individual ಒಬ್ಬರದ್ದು mass ಕಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ, add ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. So what relationship do you think? Usually people will think that both are equal. Okay, both are equal. But no, that is not the case. So what is it then? So, usually what people think is that what difference can it make when all the nucleons are together, you find the mass, when they're separated you find the individual mass and sum it up. So it is the same. So you will usually think that both these masses are equal, but not the case. So what is observed is that this relationship holds. That is, when the nucleons are together, what mass we get for them, that is less than the total mass of the individual nucleons. Okay, so this gets you total mass of individual nucleons. This is the collective mass. That is when our nucleons are together. So collective mass is less than the total mass of the individual nucleons. Now think why? What is the reason for the increase in this value compared to this collective mass? Why did the mass increase? What is the reason for it? How? What have been the reason why the mass could have increased? Is because of the energy that we have supplied. We supplied energy, right? So this energy what I have supplied is to separate out the nucleons. Our energy nane supply ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಪ್ರತಿ ಒಂದು particle will take a fraction of that energy and then they get separated and then they start moving away from each other. They have only potential energy, right? Now they have kinetic energy. So where did they get this kinetic energy from? The energy what I have supplied. So ನಾನು supply ಮಾಡಿದಂತ energy ನಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರತಿ ಒಂದು nucleon will take up a fraction of that energy and they start moving away from each other. And ಪ್ರತಿ ಒಂದು nucleon energy ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಲ್ಲ fraction of the energy, ಆ energy ಈಗ ಅದರ mass ಆಗಿ convert ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. Energy mass equivalence relation. You remember I told you there I had given you an example of how mass can be converted to energy. I took the case of an eraser, you burn it, you get energy from the mass. But this is now the reverse case. Energy is getting converted to mass. So whatever energy I had supplied, that energy is taken. Fraction of the energy is taken by every nucleon and whatever energy they have carried, our energy, other mass increase ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. So that's the reason why the total mass of the individual nucleons will be greater than the collective mass. Okay, so if I take the difference of these two, this total mass of individual nucleons and the collective mass, the difference that is what gives me what is called as mass defect. So mass defect we represent it as simple delta small m, change in the value of mass, which is z times mp plus a minus z times mn, this minus the actual mass of the nucleus. So this expression gets you mass defect. Okay, this expression gets you mass defect. So mass defect is the difference in the mass. Difference in the mass of the total mass of the individual nucleons and the actual mass of the collective nucleons. I added the difference is delta m, which is called as the mass defect.